Hi, welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janet Month.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 138. We haven't talked about our rivalry names in a while, and I had somebody contact us.
Oh.
And say, for the life of me, I can't understand what Amy's saying.
J, Knit, Ma, M-A. Janet Ma.
Janet Ma. It's a conglomeration.
Yes. But, yeah.
And I'm Just Run It. Just Run Knit. Because I run and I knit. I do other things too. It is July.
Yeah.
It's unseasonably cool for July.
It was. There's been one or two hot days.
Yeah, it warmed up and then enough for me to complain that my air conditioning wasn't working in my office, and then they fixed it and then it got cool. As is the case.
Yes.
As you do. As you do. Any shenanigans to report?
Well, I've been introducing the kids to Weird Al Yankovic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but played tacky for them, and now we've got Eat It and Fat and like a surgeon, and the one that cracked them up the most was One More Minute. And it's like all these things that he'd rather do than spend one more minute with you.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, things like, I'd rather clean all the toilets in Grand Central Station with my tongue. And the kids are like, wah, you know, that's the funniest thing you could ever say. And so the kids are really having fun with that. And then I thought I'd mention that I've been having a lot of fun watching Drunk History.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That thing is so funny.
They've had some good ones this year. I like that they're not just city-based anymore, that they're going more into
Different,
themes and music and, eras and,
Well, we weren't watching before, so this is our first season of watching it, and I guess I hadn't realized, I don't know, it feels like they stepped it up a notch, because the last thing I watched was a YouTube video of it, right? So, anyway, I've been enjoying that this season. I think it's really funny. Like the last one I watched, she was like tipsy and she's like, Mom! So the reenactment actors are like, Mom! Mom!
yes.
And you can see her chasing them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That one just cracked me. Because she's like, squirrel!
Yep.
Like, she's telling her story and then she's like, squirrel!
Yep.
Can't focus. Or when they just start laughing in the middle of their story and the reenactors start laughing in the middle of their story.
Yes.
Matt's favorite one where the guy ate Play-Doh and he didn't like the taste in his mouth, so he kept going so like the reenactors are going
and the reenactors are fairly famous folks.
Yes,
Fairly famous folks. The triple F.
Yes, they've done a really good job. I
Yeah.
just think that's really funny.
You mentioned Weird Al, and have you seen his spoof of Blurred Lines?
Yes.
Yes, that one's funny too.
Word crimes.
Yeah. The wordy in me loves that. Loves the making fun of that he's doing there. In addition to it's a catchy song, and he's put some really cute words to it. So
Why are you are letters, not words.
mm-hmm.
You.
And he mentions the Oxford comma, and yes, there's all kinds of grammar funness.
Should never use numbers to spell words.
Yep.
Just a lot of like those things that you've noticed in the lexicon.
Mm-hmm.
Makes fun of short, the acronyms.
Yeah.
And then the first world problems was pretty funny too. It's not the video necessarily, but listening to all the things that he came up with that were first world problems.
I am a solo parent. I can't say single parent because there is still another parent in the picture, but I am a solo parent this week. And so Grandma Jill just made it up yesterday, and so that was very nice. makes you really appreciate how much help you normally get from having another human being around, if not just to listen to demands.
Yeah.
Instead of having three voices being like, Mom, I need more milk. Mom, I spilled this. Mom, can I have this? There's somebody else talking to somebody else instead of me.
Yeah.
So had a really great time with them, and I enjoy being able to spend time with them, but I get less one-on-one time when there's one of me and three of them. So I'm having a good week. It's a good week. Air conditioning's still working. Generally my husband leaves, it gets hot, and then the air conditioner doesn't work. And it's never a good time to have your air conditioner not work when it's the hottest day of the year, because the air conditioning people are very busy then too.
Yes.
But that is all the shenanigans I have to report. We've been doing some fun stuff, but not anything that I absolutely must share. We've got some administrati. We're doing a fingering weight KAL. You've got a whole nother month. Join in. You didn't have to start on July 1st to join into the KAL. We had a few questions about that. And when I say few, it could mean one.
Yeah.
I say few. It's one. We also have this month, the self-striping sponsor is Stray Cat Yarns. Go check out their really eye-searing blue, blah colorways. At least those are the ones I've seen. They have other ones as well. And I'm sure of it. And then also we have another self-striping sponsor that contacted us and will be co-sponsoring September. It is Revelations, not Revolutions, of a delusional knitter. I can say this. I can say it. I can. And she has a podcast, and she also dyes. So it's, I believe it's delusionalknitter.etsy.com. And this is her candy corn colorway. So it's an October Halloween-y inspired. So you could possibly win this at the end of September for some cool October socks. Candy corn. I really like that yellow. It's nice.
And the orange isn't, I don't know, the orange that I would normally think of in candy corn. It's a little bit lighter. It's nice.
Yes, it's nice. So thank you very much to the Delusional Knitter, and go out and check out her shop, and you could possibly win with an entry that you entered for this month. So do that. And then you were going to mention the husband sock KAL.
Yes. I have a Riot of Color skein all picked out and ready to ship. I compiled a list of the people who put in finished socks, and there are 30 of you so far.
Wow.
So please get your entries in. We'll be drawing at the end of the month.
Which is next week?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if it lands before or after we draw. Before we record, but
yeah.
Please get them in, and I'll be drawing for that skein. And the yarn, it's a really pretty blue, so it's probably more for you than for your man. But you deserve a reward.
Yes.
So please get your entries in. Those are finishing out, and we will be drawing soonly. And again, what I've done is I've compiled the list based on the finished object photos, and it has to have both socks in the photo. And then I've compiled that list, and then I will random number generator for that list, which is in order. So you can kind of like, okay, my entry is the 5th entry, so even though your number on the forums is 42 or something, you're 5th, so you're number 5 when I draw the random number generator. But that was the only way I could do it, because there's been a lot of chatter in there, and there's no FO thread. People have been posting in there for the FO. It was informal, it was long running, so it didn't get sticky, so, bear with me. There will be a prize, and it will be soonly.
Excellent. And that is all the administrati that is fit to be had.
Yay.
So concludes the administrati on episode 138. Do you have any FOs?
I do. Yay.
Yay. And I do not, so yay.
I think my problem with these FOs is that I'm not going to have any more FOs for a very long time, because I have gotten into the slog portion of my knitting. That and I've been
slog portion.
Well, no, like the beginning, right? It's like
exciting. Beginnings are exciting.
Sure.
I think beginnings are exciting. That's what gets me through knits monogamously, is that I'm going for that new beginning, exciting stage.
That's true.
It's flirtatious. It's fun and exciting. It's strange and new.
I guess I have way too many things that I want to cast on, and I am in the middle, like in the trenches of things.
But she's got too many projects she wants to date. She can't
commit. I really can't, because Tour de Fleece, I didn't realize how much there is a huge trade-off with spinning versus knitting, and so I've been doing most of my spinning while the kids are awake, and I can kind of keep an eye and chat and stop really quickly in the middle of my spinning and go, and not have to follow a chart, just have to keep spinning. Anyway, so it's been mostly during their waking hours when I can fit it in. And then I get kind of like in a zone and I want to keep going, and so that eats into like an hour of my knitting time, and then it's like, okay, now I'm going to pick up this thing and try to finish it. So it took me 2 nights to do the edging on this sweater because I couldn't fit it in. And I just didn't realize how lickety-split this would have happened before I participated in Tour de Fleece. So, but I am enjoying spinning. It's not like, it's more that I'm enjoying it so much I'm not getting as much knitting done. And then I have stash guilt hardcore right now, and since I have the stash guilt, I want to cast on all the things.
Get that stuff out of your stash, yo.
Yeah. So I'll put this on over my t-shirt.
That's nice. Yeah. Has it been washed and blocked?
No.
Okay.
I finished up the edging, and I hadn't had a chance to try it on with the appropriate undergarment. So I want to get the right camisole or tank top or whatever that's going to go under it, because it is still fairly see-through. And get it
wide.
Yes, it does. It should be fine. I just haven't had the time to, it's been stashed in a bag, and I think, oh, I should do that, but then I don't want to forget it when I bring it over here.
Or have it be wet and not be able to.
Yeah, exactly. Like wash and block. Yeah, I've had that issue. Like, oh, I started washing and blocking it on Monday, but it's not ready for Wednesday. Yeah. I mean, this probably isn't coming over because of the bulk of my t-shirt, but, yeah. It should be nice.
Looks nice. And that was, we didn't ever, you're even less likely to have the ball band now, but do you remember what the content was on the linen?
Yeah, I think it was a 70-20.
Okay.
Or I mean 70-30. 70-20 would be 90%.
10% is magic.
Yeah, there you go. It just knits itself.
Yeah.
Woo! Special yarn.
So we've got quite a bit of Hempathy linen sitting here, because I've got Hempathy, and I've got my Lindy chain, and then you've got your...
Yeah, this isn't linen though, is it? It's all...
Hempathy.
Oh, okay.
Isn't...
It's hemp, but I didn't think it was linen.
I thought it had linen.
Yeah, maybe it does.
I'm going to get my phone out, just because I need to know. You keep talking.
Okay. So, I only use like slightly over 2 balls, and I hate when that happens, because now I have like almost a whole ball of this stuff, and I don't know what to do with it. And again, like, it was enough, like, I think I had to finish a little bit of a strap and then do this. I mean, it was just enough that I was like, oh, so aggravating.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want it any shorter. I wouldn't change anything. I just wish that my size would have used more of the ball or something.
Hemp cotton modal. I am so sorry. There is no linen in Hempathy. Maybe it's modal.
I use a lot of Hempathy, and I think I would have known, but never know. Been wrong before.
Got a local Hempathy expert. Yes.
No, I enjoy, again, I mean, I've knit 2 tops out of this now. I've really enjoyed it. I have a whole ball from the brown that I'm going to take back to my LYS, and then just that partial that's like, I almost want to send like a card to her and say, okay, if anybody buys this and they're kind of hemming and hawing about whether to buy a ball or not, you tell them if they get in trouble they can call me. But that would, she would lose a sale on that, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Could divvy it up like possum and let people try them.
Sure, if you want to do that.
I was thinking about that with mine because I'm going to have an extra. I'll have extras with mine as well. That if people are interested in.
Okay. Juniper Farms.
Yeah. Zoe.
And it's a linen cotton. It's a thick and thin. It would make a tremendous baby blanket because I've been fondling 3.
Okay, this is
I believe
4.
3. 4-ply. And
fingering? Or is it sport?
No, this is nowhere near fingering. I think it's a TK.
Ah, okay.
Because it is thick and thin. I mean, there are parts that you feel like you're knitting with fingering or sport, but for the most part, it averages out to a DK.
In general, animal-based fibers, I feel like, feel thinner in your hand because the yarn is...
Animal or plant?
Did I say animal?
You did.
I meant to say non-animal.
Non-animal,
based.
okay.
Like plant-based fibers do feel thinner in your hand because they weigh, because it's based on the weight per, the yardage per weight is what the classification is, right? So the plant fibers are more dense, and so, right? Am I flipping my formula correctly? The plant fibers are more dense, and so you get a thinner strand. Anyway,
Yes.
this is all very interesting. I could, yeah.
Animal fibers are fluffier?
Yes. Okay. And so they feel thicker. What she said. In your hand. They feel thicker in your hand. But on both.
So yeah, I pretty. This is like very much like a baby blanket to me when I squish it all like this, and so I would definitely recommend it for that kind of.
They have a variety of colors.
Not
white.
They had a purplish and a steelish blue gray, but no colors. So if you were doing a baby, it'd be a very neutral baby blanket. But that could be good.
Somebody who doesn't know if they're having a toilet.
Yes. But what else I was going to say about this? I think it looks like a more casual, and I might see once I have a tank top under it, it might end up being weekend only wear. Like, I don't know if I would wear it to work. It just seems very casual in its texture. Doesn't seem like it doesn't seem as polished as work. But there's that. And then I have my 8 ounces of Screw Wash BFL in the Tesla's coil from Cloud Lover. And that is done.
Applied and everything.
Yep, it's been washed and dried. I'm guessing that this is kind of DK, sport to DK. Based on the yardage for sure. I'd go closer to a DK. And 2-ply. One was very, there's pops of pink in the braid. And one, when I spun it, the pink seemed to just kind of blend in and it looked almost all purple the whole way through. And then the second braid that I did for the singles had way more of the pink being prominent. So when I applied them together, it kind of evened out. I can see some pops of pink. So so the first one I thought, oh, this is going to be fairly even purple, with some whites popping here and there. And when I got to the second one, I was like, oh, and some pink. And I knew in the braid they looked like they had pink for sure, but spinning it, just one of them didn't seem to have any of the pink show up. So that's that, and I am still working on my fiber from Belighted on my spindle, and my Poonies from Gourmet Stash. I haven't really worked on the Gourmet Stash Poonies. I only have one set left in my goals, and it's very small, like 7 Poonies. So it'd be like 3.5 and 3.5 for the singles, and very limited amounts of yardage in the final yarn.
How many days do you have left?
That I don't know. And I have 2 more braids of regular fiber, and the one braid is 6 ounces, and I'm planning on spinning it into a 3-ply sock yarn. So yeah, I'd rather not change my plan for the yarn, so I guess I'm just gonna have to power through, and if I make it, I make it. If not, oh well. I did order the spindle that I was giving myself as incentive.
So now the incentive is gone.
But the thing of it is that it I don't know when it's going to be ready, because it's a special custom order, and they have a cycle, and I don't know when it's going to get here. And so my thought is that if I'm buying, like if they send me an invoice before the end of Tour de Fleece, then it's like, uh-oh, then the incentive is kind of a wash. But it could be that I can spin right up until they send me that invoice. Like, I gotta get that done before I pay for that invoice.
You're racing the clock.
I'm racing the clock, yes.
Like a speed trial.
But I'm really enjoying the really skinny singles that I'm doing right now for the sock yarn, and I am like excited for my socks, my future socks, as I'm spinning it. So I'm thinking that the pleasure that's going into that will offset the disappointment of not making my goals. But I have been spinning equally on the spindles and the wheel, as far as like feeling like getting enough progress in percent towards goal. So I have to do a lot of wheel spinning and a little bit of spindle spinning to get my same percent to goal for the night. And again, that sounds very complicated, but it's just like I need to get through at least one half of this roll log in order to be far along enough to get to my goal, kind of thing. And then I just make sure I spin through that roll log, and that's a lot quicker than me getting through the same amount, the same percentage on my wheel project. But again,
we're all about the math figures today.
Yes. But it is all got Tour de Fleece has kicked me in the butt as far as getting my spinning going again. So that will continue beyond Tour de Fleece. Cool. I will get those things done. And I have a lot of stash guilt on the spinning end as well. But the dreaming of more spindles is not helping, because I just think I can put more fiber on more spindles.
So you have more works in progress.
Yeah. Yeah. But for me, I'm a process spinner. Once I have yarn, I'm less excited about the yarn than I was the fiber going into the yarn. So then once I want to convert it to a project, then I get less excited about it. Although the socks, again, like I said, that's getting, that's starting to help with that.
This is the first time you've really spun for a specific project. I mean, socks isn't really a specific project. But
no, I mean, I've spun to make sure that it's a hat, like, or this or that, little things. But a 3-ply fingering weight is pretty daunting. And I've spun to think like, oh, I want to make a shawl, so I have to have at least this many yards. And so I spin really thin to get that many yards. And I've gotten that goal, but then when it comes to making a shawl out of that yarn that I spun to that goal, I lose enthusiasm. So I've knit my hand spun into things, but I kind of, I don't know, sometimes it's hard. It's like, oh, that looks like it's going to stripe. So I could start the project and then have it kind of lose its luster when I find out that it's the wrong pattern for the yarn. It's easier to gauge that when it's commercial, I think.
I just saw Chaz wandering around, and I just wanted to point out that Max has been barricaded in the basement because they were yowling at each other before we started recording. So there will be a noticeable lack of Max in this episode. The Max-less episode.
They were quite loud.
Yes. And they hissed at me. I had to get brooms and towels and stuff out to get Max into the basement. So I have no idea.
Wow.
A neighbor cat comes wandering around, and I think they see it, and they think the boys need to fight over the neighbor cat. I don't even know if it's a girl or a boy, but they fight over it. You know, they gotta prove their dominance or something. As far as works in progress, my sock continues to be. You're done with FOs, right?
Yeah.
My sock continues to be my travel knitting, so I did a bit of running, playgrounding this weekend, and turned to heel. This is my spacious OMG heel, and making very slow progress. I think I was here-ish.
But you're making more progress than me because I have put my socks away. I have not touched them at all.
Is there a specific reason, or you
just more enthusiastic about the other projects?
Yep.
And they did. I don't know. When I cast them all on, I was very excited about all of them, and got through all of my basic knitting, and then I must have just went the opposite direction. Like I wanted more big projects and complicated stuff. Or something.
I do design socks, and so I often have a sock on the needle, but in general I consider myself a garment knitter, and so when I looked at my project pages, I was like, this is all shawls and socks. Who is this person? I definitely have had the allure of the garment calling me as well. My other work in progress is my larger size, literally over the top, out of Knit Picks Lindy Chain in the blush colorway. I am a substantial 4 balls in, way in.
Substantial.
It's almost, this 4th ball is hollowed out. I went through and I was getting really tired of, I know that you don't have to when they're in those little, I don't even know what you call them, fists of yarn, like they're wound around themselves. And it kept on, like, too much would come out and then it would tangle around itself. So I just caked them up because I was getting sick of untangling the
I
fist.
pull from the outside of the fists.
And that's what I was doing. Oh. And it's just not wrapped around tightly enough that sometimes the, like, large, like, multiple wraps would come loose and then it would get wrapped around
this type of thing?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, this is what the Zoe leftover. See, almost the whole thing. And it's
see, that was tighter wrapped than these were.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah,
I've certainly had. The Lindy might be more slippery.
Yeah, it could be. It's. I really like the sheen of it. Like it's almost got like a shininess to it, and I really like the stitch definition. Like I know I said that last week, but now that I've done so much of it, I could put the it on like a poncho here. I really like the stitch definition without any blocking. You know, like this hasn't been stretched to its fullest potential. And a good 10 inches bigger than my bust, so I could wear it as like a really loosely gauged. But I'm going to ask my mom if she's interested in taking it, so hopefully I can get it done before she takes off. Let go of me yarn, and almost to the bottom. I don't know if you can see there. Good. Okay, 3 more inches, and then a couple more inches of ribbing and seam up the sides, and ba-blam!
It looks more like 4 inches to me.
Okay. Amy's a empathy expert and an eye measurer.
Yeah, I measure. I mean, that's at least 4.
That's what she said. Sorry, had to work that in. This is a very specific measurer that is at least 4.
4.5.
My finger measurement is close enough. It's not like I'm going to just knit until there's 4 inches. I've almost put my impatient knitter marker in, which is just a little clip that you can put somewhere so it shows you how much progress you've made. And I've made quite a bit. The balls of these are small enough that, you join in a new one and you feel like you're like, and I did go through and I don't know, every once in a while I get where I want to weave in the ends.
Mm-hmm.
So this has had some knots in the skein, and rather than having just work the knots in, I don't trust them, and I make my own magic knots, and so I had a bunch of little fringes on the back side, and I just wove them all in today because I was wanting them not to be on there.
So you magic knot and still leave the fringes in? Or do you cut?
Well, then I weave the ends in on the magic knot.
Oh. I thought the point of the magic knot was that you cut it right at the knot.
That was what I did.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what I did. I'm not saying that it's the right thing. I understand what you're saying. Why would you do? I guess for me it's like double.
Okay.
Like maybe that end might unweave itself, but the knot will still be there. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, I could have just cut them.
The few times that I've done the magic knot, I've done it the way that, where it's just a ball, a knot, no fringe, no nothing, but you have to worry about where that knot ends up a little bit.
So yeah, I've been pretty monogamously working on this because I've got the end of the week as a deadline, and away she goes. And then you were holding up yours to try to segue and get me to quit talking about it. But, I didn't ever hold this up and show the stitch definition close up, so now I've started my row with the light behind it. You can see where it is literally over the top. Just zoop. There's my provisional cast on, and you chose to do the normal cast on.
I did. More due to lack of tools. I was just on the bus and went, it's a provisional cast on, and I didn't bring anything to provisionally cast on with, because I'd like to either have a high contrast yarn if I'm going to do it that way, or an extra cable, or I just didn't have anything. So I did the loose cast on as Megan suggested, and
it's good because then somebody will have tested that.
Yeah.
I don't know if my other people have done the provisional or not, but 2 sets of instructions, so yeah, it's good to be thorough.
So I am not very far on this because for some reason for a small child you need 17 inches of knitting before you can go over the top. Is that right?
No, that doesn't sound right.
Okay.
Maybe that's the shoulder to...
I don't know. Okay. I'll have to pull out the pattern again. But I was just like, it's a lot more than I have right now, so just keep knitting.
Yep. Just keep knitting. And you've got that cool eye measuring thing that you can do.
And I would have remeasured once I thought it looked like my daughter's size, right? But
totally adjustable.
For now, it's not big enough.
I do like the sparklies.
Yeah. So I'm calling it my Elsa Blue because it does remind me of Frozen with the sparkle and the blue and I don't know, just very snow and Elsa dress and cool. And that's actually very fun potato chip knitting, I find, with you, like you said, there's just 2 rounds and I was like, yay!
I'm looking at the pattern.
Okay, thank you.
It does say 17. You are correct.
Okay.
20 from shoulder to hem. But you're thinking about it in terms of armholes, and it's not 20 inches from here to armhole, right?
No.
You're going to end up seaming up a lot of that 20 inches.
But the 17 is before I even begin the ribbing that's around the top, so that's...
Yeah, but the ribbing's like up here.
Okay.
It's not armhole.
Yeah.
Anyway. Conversations we could have off camera.
Yeah. Exactly.
What is that? Oh, that's your...
That is the bottom of my cardigan.
Mm-hmm.
And here are my sleeves.
Sleeves.
I have the one sleeve. And a two sleeve. Get this right here.
You have some very colorful arms.
I do. Isn't it going to be pretty?
You could just...
Here, I'll go like this and pretend it's done. Look at that.
It's nice with the color.
Yeah. I think that this will look pretty darn cool when it's all done. And,
when it's all done.
yeah. Yeah. I just, you know, like, oh, well, sleeves are a third of the knitting, right? But, no. I don't know if it's going to be a third of this knitting.
And you weighed your balls?
I did. And I did not use as much as I thought that I should have or would have. So I still have 230 grams left out of 300 that I started with. So
wow.
Sleeves only took 70 or, you know, whatever was above. Because, you know, it was probably over 100 grams each to begin with.
So close to a third. If
yeah.
You have to use all of them.
This is true. And I will...
Just doing mental math.
Yeah. I will need to use all of it, I'm sure. And I'm going to be using part of the gray up here and pockets. And, but yeah, this is getting close to me starting the color. But yeah, the pattern called for 24, so it's going to have a little bit wider bottom than in the sleeves. But the sleeves, since the color changes are my choice, it does look a lot different than the pattern, so I think that I might just go a couple more rows of this and then switch over, because I don't want my band to be comically larger than the wristbands. I want it to be slightly larger.
I get
but not comically larger.
Like an inch larger?
Yeah. Like right now, they're seeming to be spot on, so I was just thinking maybe a half inch longer.
I like big bottom bands.
I don't know. It's so contrasting. I just think that it would put a stripe over my butt. Or right on top of my butt. Because this is a longer cardigan.
So you think your big bottom band would make your bottom look big?
Yes.
Say that 5 times fast.
I'm not gonna try it. But, and you know, not that the bands that I have wouldn't also accentuate because they are so contrasting, but
does this big bottom band make my bottom look big?
I just didn't want a really wide band across my wide butt. So
I think you have a fantastic butt, Amy. I don't think I'm not hitting on her like her yarn is, but
it's yeah. My booty is bootylicious. 'Cause my booty's too bootylicious.
Is that all the works in progress that you have to show? I think that might be like a show record too.
Well, it's not a show record. I think I was monogamous for like 1 month.
I don't remember.
Wasn't it one of our challenges?
No, you were working through your works in progress. Like you were trying to work down to 0. I don't think you were ever like, I only have 1 work in progress to show this week.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, internets.
But it doesn't seem to matter because I have 3 socks that are not fit to show. Because I haven't been working on them at all. And then I have a hat. I didn't work on it this week, but it's still there. You know, there's a lot of things.
You have, I do see some yarn over there.
I do.
That is like Dairyland knits. Josh calls naps, which he kind of took what I was calling needle adjacent and added the project at the end. Needle Adjacent Project is a nap.
Okay.
And you do have some needle adjacent projects over there.
Yes, I do. So, do you? I mean,
I have purchases.
So
you want to talk about naps.
I can talk about.
I love
naps.
a good nap.
So, we have confirmed that we will be at Rhinebeck at least Saturday. Yay!
We'll be in New York before that.
Yes. Yes, we'll be hanging out in New York before that, with the hubs.
Probably going to breweries and doing some biking, and maybe if it's warm enough, some kayaking.
Now, if you guys want to bike a lot one day, we might take the train into New York City.
Yeah.
But
you do not have to be attached at the hip like a foursome.
Yep, and that's understood. So Saturday for sure, and then since my husband and I aren't leaving until Monday bright and early, I was thinking of maybe trying to get him to go to the AM Rhinebeck again. But maybe that's if I haven't had enough on day one, which I might not. Never been. Will not know.
Excited! Super excited!
Yes. So I have my needle adjacent is the Rhinebeck sweater. So I'll just show a couple of skeins. So I put out on Instagram 6 sweaters that I was thinking about doing, and a lot of people suggested the Ginny's cardigan and also the ink sweater. So ink, I was thinking of doing in this Marigold Jen BFL in Amy's Punky Plum. Like Punky Brewster. Punky Plum. And the other one, the Ginny's, would be in Dancing Dog Dye Works in the Chili Verde dongle tweed. It's a
dongle?
Well, yeah.
Dongle is like a thing you put in the back of your computer, isn't it? Dongle?
Dongle? I've
Pronunciation.
always, in my head, it's been dongle, so I guess I don't know. And then, so it's got a nep in it. This is her Tweety Decay. I would either make this into the Ginny's or one of the other cardigans that were mentioned, but I don't know. I think that the other yarns that I have to pick for the other ones that weren't as popular, like 2 and 5 were the popular ones, and everything else was just hit or miss, and they're kind of boring. Like, I think that, like, one of them I have a black yarn, and the other one I have like a gray that's rustic, like a rustic gray, so it's, it's heathered. And I don't know if I would necessarily put them in my Rhinebeck sweater, so I'm just kind of like, unless I acquired new yarn, not a good idea, before Rhinebeck, I think I'm going to go with either 2 or 5 or cast on both, and then hopefully one of the 3 sweaters will get done. So the one that I'm working on currently, Ginny's or ink, would be ready to go for Rhinebeck. That's the hope anyway. And then I have picked out what I would like to do a Hito Fude out of. Woohoo! So this is Alicia Goes Round. She's been in the agave, and I just, as soon as I was, I had 2 of them, and I put them side by side, I said, oh, it's got to be this one. Very pretty, and I think it will be very cool.
Richness of Mart.
Yeah, I am not ready to start this yet. I know it will be fun and addicting and could be a Rhinebeck sweater, but
it's a little lightweight.
I'm going with different. I want to do something different, which is making me lean towards ink, because Ginny sounds like a lot of people are doing it, and a lot of people will be wearing it. But then again, it'll be fun because it'll be a photo op, and it'll be an instant conversation starter. Ooh, like your Ginny, like Ginny, you know, having the same sweater as everybody would be kind of nice. Anywho, and then that kind of leads me into purchases. So, my Camp Loopy purchase project.
I enabled her.
She did. Is this BFL nylon from Huckleberry Knits. It's the willow base. And I got this vibrant purple. It is so pretty. Let's see, Violets Are Blue is the name of the yarn. And I am going to knit the adult version of my daughter's sweater out of this. Yes, Sunspot.
Or whatever the adult version.
The adult version, I think, is Poetry in Motion. So there's going to be a lot of skating going on very soon.
So your purple is similar, a very vibrant purple, but then I also have flashes of blue and gray. And so I think this one has the most representative colors of all of them. This one's probably got a little grayer tip there.
I mean,
I was in primetime Hitofude mode when I bought these. So I was like, I can mix super variegated yarns and do anything. So that was why I ended up getting this, and it was a BFL base, and Camp Loopy discount, can't beat it with a stick. I think these were under $20 gains with that discount. So Huckleberry Knits, very dark, vibrant colors. And then I bought some from a new indie dyer, Nomadic Yarns. She has a BFL base as well. This one is 20% superwash BFL, 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. Same. The ply is so much tighter. Like you can see the halo on this one a lot more than you can on the Brit sock, which is what the Nomadic Yarns is. And this one just somehow ended up in my cart because it's called Botany for Zombies. And so I like Botany. I really like that green, that kind of chartreusey green. And then the pink in there is very nice. And this is what I was, again, in primetime Hitofude mode. And I was like, oh, fingering weight, 2 skeins of yarn. I could make a short sleeve something. And this one is, here comes your man. And it's got some darker, Jazz is sitting down here like I'm trying to show him the yarn, like looking up at it from above. Some darker splashes, but also a very turquoisey blue. I really like it. This ended up being darker than the picture. And this was actually brighter than the picture, I thought, and I really like it. I was pleased with the brighterness. Not that you wouldn't have liked it just as pictured, but it does look a little more vibrant to me. So, very nice. And somebody said this would make a good sock head.
See that?
I need to get a coat that's that color. Mission set. And then I will knit a sock head for it. Although sock head, I would have to add some sort of stitch to it, because sock head is a lot of stockinette zombie. A lot. But go check out Nomadic Yarns. So cute. She's got some gradients she's dyeing up now. I saw on Instagram. I was Instagram enabled on that one.
Happens.
It does. To the best of us. And I also had a question on Instagram on whether or not the yarn diet is off, and I would just say that it's temporarily paused at the time. Like, I'll get back into it stage. Yeah, fell off the wagon, fell hard, continuing to enjoy buying things. We'll get back on the wagon eventually. But I'm going to eat my cake now. And I'm going to like it.
I pulled out my Fable fibers too, because I was wondering if there was like a pattern that would look good in this. So if you have any suggestions, this is DK. And it's very, it's got that
That was
well,
our
it's a
birthday
dark,
kit
it's a
yarn.
yeah, purpley splotches.
Mm-hmm.
Almost black in some places, but mostly purple.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it would be. I don't know. Well, it would have to handle that. The color is very vibrant and bright, and has speckles and splotches.
If
So.
you didn't believe Amy that she had stash goats, the fact that she carried all of this over here to show you and ask you to help her decide on what projects to knit is further evidence of said stash goats.
Serious stash guilt, really. I mean, I went through all of it recently. I readjusted my queue. I have assigned a lot of it to said projects in queue, but you know, how many sweaters can one person knit?
Meanwhile, I'm just like, fingering sweater quantities are raining like dollar bills. It's just like, woo! Give her some more fingering weight sweater quantities. I love it. Because I've got more that's coming. Yeah, I'm crazy. I'm gonna knit all the Mojito Fudes out of every fingering sweater quantity. But yes, we have blathered on quite a bit this evening, and I have no more to say.
All right. Bye.
Bye.